Yo, yo, what's going on, gentlemen? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a shit ton of money with AI static Facebook ads. Let's hop right into it. So what I'm going to be showing you to how to make today are going to be ads that look like this. So stuff like this that is going to be with your product that has intentional copy and that can do really well as a Facebook static. Now, full disclosure, I wouldn't recommend only running Facebook static ads. I would actually recommend that you use this in your creative mix. The more diversity you can have inside of your ad account, the better it's going to perform. So highly recommend utilizing this strategy alongside with the video ads that you have to create a nice diverse portfolio of creative, which will yield you better results. Cool. So that said, this is kind of what I'm going to show you how to make today. Let's hop right into it. We're going to need two tools. We're going to be utilizing Claude. I'm going to start a new Claude instance here. And then we're also going to be utilizing Sora. Now, Sora is, if I can pull it up here, Sora is where we're going to actually be doing the image generation. Claude is how we're going to be creating the prompts. So we're going to be engineering our prompts with Claude. We're going to be using Sora for the actual image generation. And then any touch-ups, we can utilize Photoshop. I'll give a demonstration on how I like to approach it. And then you can do this information as you will. Hopefully you can get some sweet results with it as well. So the first thing we want to do in this brand new Claude instance is give some context of what the fuck we're selling. Because if you don't tell it if you don't describe the product that you're selling, if you don't really give good context here, you're not going to get great results because the prompt isn't going to be engineered properly. So the first thing that I would like to do is pull up some images of our product. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just use some of these previous generations that we did because they already have my product in it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab these. I'm going to go ahead and drag them into this prompt. You're going to want to drag images of your product into this prompt. And we're going to say, we are going to be building Sora image prompts for the product that I am selling. Now I want to give it a little bit of context on what this product is. Study the images attached to understand the product better. It is a personalized necklace engraved with a picture of the customer's pet. They come in silver, gold, and rose gold, and have the name of the customer's dog, customer's pet, engraved under the picture. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and now send this over, and I'll say confirm that you understand what the product is. So that's what we're going to send initially. We really just want to start by training this Claude model, which is then going to yield you ideal results. It's going to take a few seconds. Boom. This is a personalized pet portrait necklace. Key features: circular pendant, right? So it's analyzing it. Pet's name engraved. Highly sentimental, emotional gift. Long-lasting, meaningful gift. Thoughtful persona, a personal, practical gift that becomes part of them. Beautiful. Next thing that you're going to want to do is start generating some actual image ads with this. Now, I want to talk about two strategies that I like to utilize with Claude to be able to generate these images. You can either go the inspiration route, where I'm going to go ahead and show you that actually first here, where we're going to go ahead and pull up some inspiration from maybe competitors, maybe other brands that you might be following. The easiest way to do this is to just have a bookmark like this, or sorry, a bookmark folder called Creative Inspiration, and I kind of stacked this over the years. Highly recommend you make something like this in your own browser and just have these linked to different Facebook libraries. I have a bunch of videos on how I find these, by the way, on the channel. You can check it out. Let's go ahead and just open up a few of these. I'm going to go ahead and open up Silvercut. They're one of our competitors that I like to get some inspiration from. We'll go ahead and scroll down. Let's see what else we got here. Let's take a look at what let's take a look at what these guys are doing. They sell dog clothes, like dog theme, personalized dog clothing. And then let's take a look at who else would be a good example here. Take a look at Cuddle Clowns. So I'm doing these for brands that are in my niche. Obviously, you want to do the same thing for brands that are in your niche. Cool. So I'm going to scroll down, and what I like to do is I like to go and first sort by active. So we only want to see ads that are currently running. And then I also want to sort by just images and memes. And what it's going to do is going to spit us out 22 results, and you can see these 22 results are of different images that this brand here has been running. Now, let's just say that I want to create or recreate something like this. You don't have to miss him as much with this. Love you always. Perfect. I think that's a cool image that we can do a recreation with, and with our product, you know, that might work. So what I'm going to do is quite literally drag and drop this into my downloads folder, which you're not going to see on the screen right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And yeah, that's going to be one that we're going to go ahead and use as an example here. This brand doesn't have anything running. Cuddle Clones has a fuck ton of stuff running. Let's see if we can find something nice to also use here. Let's go with cool. Let's go with this one here. The number one choice for pet loss comfort. That is one of the angles that we run for my brand. Cool. So we're going to be using these two examples here, and we're going to be going forth with the first method. Now, this first method, again, is kind of like a recreation method where you're utilizing Claude to analyze now the images and the ads that we want to create. And with the context that we previously gave it about our product, we're going to have it create a prompt that we're going to then use to create a replica of potentially a winning static ad that a different brand might have already created. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and quite literally drag and drop this in here, and we're going to say, now, study this image and create a Sora prompt that will use our product with the same style and copy. So in this case, I think that this copy kind of translates directly with what I'm trying to sell. So I'm going to go ahead and use this exact same copy. You can tweak this direction for, let's just say there's a logo that you want it to exclude. You can give it as much context as you would like. I actually find that the more context you give it, the better it's going to engineer the prompt, and then the better that final result is going to come out as. We're going to go ahead and send this over. Give it a second, and what it should do is come up with a nice prompt that we're going to then be utilizing. Cool. You can see it gives like an alternative version here. We're going to go ahead and use this prompt here. And you can see it directly explains what this image is. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and copy it here. We're going to hop over to our Sora. And we're going to go ahead and make sure you have image selected. We're going to go ahead and paste this in here. And as I paste it, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of skim through it, see if there's anything that I want to change. So close-up cinematic shot on dark wooden desk surface, handwritten yellow note. Cool, same copy. Next to a vintage Polaroid of a golden retriever sitting in a sunny living room, a personalized gold necklace with a circular pendant featuring an engraved portrait of the same golden retriever with the name Luna engraved gently below. Okay, cool. We have the same pen. We explained the lighting. Cool. So it gives really the exact shot. Now here is a little bit more sauce. You're going to want to go ahead and click on this add button and go ahead and upload from your device another image of your product. So this is important because it gives additional context now to Sora of exactly like what direction we want to go in. I'm going to go ahead and choose from my library here just because I already have an image of my product. We're going to then go ahead and click on remix. So as it's going and doing that, I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing for this other image. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in, and we're going to say, now do the same thing with this image. I'm going to go ahead and send that. And as you can see, I mean, you can expedite this workflow, and I'm actually working on automating it. So if you guys do want to see the automated version and how to actually automate this with N8N, working on that right now. You can join the Discord. It's free. I'm going to be sharing it there in the description. But you can even just see doing it manually is super straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'm going to go ahead and paste that. Same exact thing. Choose from library. I'm going to go ahead and use the image that I have. We're going to go ahead and send that over. So as these are generating, I want to talk now about the second method, which is not using inspiration from others, but is generating brand new content using just Claude, which is actually kind of cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to want to identify what are the different people that are going to be interested in buying your product, right? So as these are working, I'm going to kind of jump into the second version so we can be as efficient as possible. You want to think about who are the different personas, who are the different people that are going to be buying your product, and what are the different reasons people are going to be buying your product. Now, for me, I know that majority of people are buying buying our product for gifting, right? It makes a perfect gift for a pet lover. And I'm going to go ahead and utilize that example, and we're going to be directing Claude to be creating an ad for gifting. Now, obviously, you want to do some research into this to identify who are going to be the most ideal personas to be targeting, and then you're going to want to approach it with your own. So we're going to say now, create a unique prompt that is targeting gift givers, positioning the pet face necklace as the perfect gift. Then we're going to say, make the product stand out in a beautiful way. I found that having very clear product showcase with these prompts just yields better results, simply put. So having it stand out equals better results. So you're going to want to include in here, again, whatever the angle you are playing. I might be playing an emotional angle, and if I'm playing an emotional angle and I want to target, let's just say, older people that have lost pets, I'm going to mention that, right? If I'm targeting men that are giving to their girlfriends, I'm going to mention that. So in this example, let's actually go with that last one there. So now create a unique prompt that is targeting men gift givers, encouraging them to buy the pet face necklace as the perfect gift. Men gift givers choosing to buy the pet face necklace as a perfect gift for their girls. We're going to go ahead and send that over. We're going to let it do its thinking. And we're going to grab this prompt as it spits it out. And as you can probably guess, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go here, drop that in there, choose from library so we can get a nice little reference image, and hit on remix. Beautiful. So as that is doing its thing, we can see here that we have some results that have come back. Now you can see a lot of these results have greatly taken into consideration that inspiration that we gave. So play around with that inspiration that you're uploading into Sora, as it's going to be taking it in account. Now, let's just say that you don't like anything that was outputted, quite literally copying the prompt, re-putting it in there and having it regenerated is a perfect way to just continue to get more variations in here. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to take a look at this one here. Oops, nice. All right, I will be right back as I fix this. And we're back. Sorry about that, it was tweaking. All right, so if we go ahead and open this, what I'm really curious about here, two things. I'm gonna take a look to make sure this note is correctly done. So you don't have to miss her as much with this. Love you always. And then we have the engraving here. As you can see, the engraving kind of looks like shit. So this might be one that I would want to get fixed up in Photoshop. And then I really like this one here. Number one choice for pet loss comfort. The type of comfort you just can't put a price on. I think this looks great. Again, this would be one that we would want to get cleaned up. And we can see here, we had these here that were outputted as well. The gift that makes her cry happy tears, she'll never take it off. This would be one that I would definitely want to get remade here. And what we can do is we can even give no reference image as well. Again, kind of play around with it. A lot of this does require playing around with until you start getting really good prompts. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys while that's kind of working its thing, how you can actually clean this up, just to add a little bit of Photoshop know-how in here. I like to use Photoshop. I find it's the best for actually cleaning things like this up. My product does have more detail in it, so that is, to consider that the more detail a product has, the more errors you might see with this. So if you are selling something that is very, like this box, like just very clearly visible, without much detail, it's going to yield you significantly cleaner results versus if you have a lot more detail on like a necklace that has an engraving on it. So that's something also to note. But again, a lot of this can be very quickly fixed inside of a tool like Photoshop. So let's go ahead and just, for example's sake, go into Photoshop and I'm going to show you what we can do. So this is a few that I made yesterday using this exact same method. You can see they're pretty nice. These two, not this one. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of create a third one here to showcase how we can do this in a pretty simple, straightforward way. First thing you're going to want to do is drag and drop that image that we want to touch up inside of Photoshop. Typically, if you have an error like this where it just looks like a fucking bludge, you just want to grab this lasso tool. And we just kind of want to get rid of it, to be honest with you. So we kind of just want to go around it just like that. And we want to go ahead and click on layer here. Want to go to smart objects, click on this. Then we're going to go to edit, content awareness fill. And you can see we're basically just going to delete that part. It's going to look nice. And then we want to add a nice engraving there. If we were to make this perfect, to what we're doing here, we would grab an image of a golden retriever. But for time's sake and for your sanity's sake, I'm going to go ahead and just reuse this one here, which is an engraving from before. Go ahead, paste that in there. And I'm going to simply rearrange this on my pendant. Now, depending on what you need to modify, let's just say you need to modify some text, you can do something very similar to this where you're just removing the text and then putting text over it. But as you can see, let's just pretend that's the same dog. Very simple to just kind of clean up. The copy here looks great, and this ad would be ready to go. Cool. Last thing I want to touch base on here is going to be these ads where we didn't add any type of prompt. You can see we did have some interesting generations that came out from this. Obviously, these engravings would also need some touching up, but copy looks pretty good. The gift that makes her cry happy tears. The one change that I would be making here would be on the actual box. I would be specifying in that prompt what box I want. So we have blue boxes, so I'd be specifying that I wanted this to be a blue velvet box. And then I would be touching this up in Photoshop. So that's the tools, right? I'm going to give you guys those tools, go fish with them, go play around with them. Biggest advice here is to go fuck with it, dude. Like play around with it. You're going to get some good results. You're going to get some shit results. But at the end of the day, this has yielded some really solid performance here lately as we started testing it and playing around with it. And hopefully it can do the same for you. Peace.